Shelton Sips, episode 4. But for real, Shelton Speaks, episode 4. I'm super slack. This is 4 out of 6 weeks. It's supposed to be a weekly vlog. It's called Process, which is not a license to not get the shit done that you said you were going to, but it's just an honesty thing. So I am like, Gears and Guitars 2019 just happened here in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, a mile from my house, Bailey Park. I could tell you all about it. You could look it up. You're not going to, so let me tell you what just happened. So I went out to see Stone Temple Pilots. They were the headliner, but I really went to see Hannah Wicklund. I got my word all mixed up. Really went to see Hannah Wicklund and the Steppin Stones, a fucking awesome 3-piece rock and roll band. Put me right back in touch with what I always want out of music, and which is so very hard to find, which is, for me, because I'm not willing to move to an Atlanta or a Nashville or wherever, where there would be more of it, I'm sure, but still there's less of it in the world that I want, which is just honest guitar playing, rock and roll, just really groovy, rootsy, blues-based. It can be heavy at times, but rock and roll. So we've got plenty of rock in the ethos right now, but not a lot of roll. The roll is the swing, the bluesiness, the vibe and the feel that makes it sexy and swinging and soulful, even when it's heavy. I want that. So they stole the fucking show. There's gonna be a lot more cussing in this because I listen to Gary Vee all the fucking time. And it's not that I'm trying to be like Gary Vee, it's that I'm telling my truth and I'm tired of censoring. Because when you censor words, you're having to take part of your RAM to like censor the energy of what you're doing, so I'm not into that. So this is not PG-13, it's rated R-ish. So yeah, just fucking incredible band. They were so, of course, Hannah is outrageous, so incredibly self-possessed in her performance. Guitar playing is great. Her singing is so perfect. It is so perfectly in tune. She was singing. I turned to my friend Josh. Thank you so much, Josh Moyer, for the tickets for the VIP passes. I said, I can feel her voice rearranging my soul, because I could. I was like, oh, now I know what Reiki is. I've been through it and I've like trained first level Reiki, but I was like, I hadn't felt it exactly in that way until I was like, I can feel things moving around inside of me as if they were organs, but they're like energetic organs getting lined up. So way to go with the singing, Hannah. Must have done choir or something, because her intonation is fucking perfect, even when she's being like all raspy, Bonnie Raitt, you know, Susan Tedeschi kind of territory. Still the intonation is just perfect. Great songwriting, especially to be as young as she is. But I knew all that was going to happen. You know, I'd seen video, I'd seen her live one time from a distance. What I didn't realize was the Steppin Stones, and I met Grayson, the bass player, is fucking phenomenal, just playing this baller Rickenbacker bass. Oh my god, it was so fucking cool. And then he's just perfect, like doing what a rock bass player should be doing. Sorry to use the should word, don't shit on people, but I'm gonna shit on some rock bass players. Just fucking perfect. I'm real sad my Chapman, I gotta get some contact cleaning going. No matter how much I rock it, it just keeps on going like that. Yeah, so he was perfect, and their drummer's fucking amazing. So let's just turn into a plug for Hannah Wicklund and the Steppin Stones. Needless to say, follow them, like see them. They're coming to North Carolina. They're going across the country in some capacity, and they're going to Europe. So there's no excuses. Go see them. The bigger thing was Stone Temple Pilots. They really blew my mind. I mean, it brought me way back, and that's what I'm going to get to, because this is about process and being an artist and all this bullshit. I'm still wearing what I wore. I was in my like new age dude outfit, as I put it earlier. But yeah, they were incredible. I mean, they have written so many great riffs. They transcended. Unfortunately, they didn't have the best relationship with the press. It wasn't the coolest thing to love them. But listening back more than ever, time will tell. They were like head and shoulders in so many ways above so many of the other bands we were working with. And they were not a grunge band. It was psychedelic alternative rock. Some of their songs sounded grungy because of the era when they were being pushed, but yeah, just incredible, and brought me back to a time in my life. So what I learned tonight more than anything was that I had really great taste as a 6th through 8th grader. So the early bands that got me listening to music, I'm from a music family, my parents listened to music, music was always in the house, but I was like, music, that's what my parents and my brothers do, because I was the youngest. I want to be different, so I didn't want to do music until I heard ants marching on the radio on the way back from a church trip. I was sitting in the back of a Lex Suburban, and I'm like, what the hell is that? There's fiddles, and there's saxophone, and it's happy, and acoustic guitar sounded really cool, and electric guitar had never woken me up, and then the acoustic got me going. So that happened. So I was nonstop listening to Dave Matthews Band from age like 10 to 14. Hours a day, headphones in, doing a lot of escapism, like teenagers do, and I was into music, and I'd listen so hard, and I'd be sad because I'd heard it so much, so I had to find a way to make it new. So I would listen to one instrument, like I'm listening to Under the Table and Dreaming all the way through, but I'm only listening to Carter Beauford play the drums. I didn't know his name was Carter Beauford. I didn't understand how any of it worked, but I would lock in, and that's why I'm such a good listener, and I'm learning to own my strengths too. So I'm a great listener, and that's why I'm a great bandmate, more so than anything I can do here. I'm not the flashiest guitar player in the world, but I got great ears, and that's because of all that hard listening when I was a kid. So I grew up, I'm listening to Dave Matthews Band, the first biggest, there was a Pearl Jam chapter for sure, but much deeper I realize now, and much deeper in their catalog in my brain, is Stone Temple Pilots. So it's Dave Matthews Band, Stone Temple Pilots, and Lenny Kravitz. Again, hugely underrated, easily, he did like a video for American Woman, and then he came out with, I want to get away. And so people thought like he was just like this shtick dude or something. Incredible artists, both pulling so much from psychedelia in the 60s and 70s, which of course I didn't have any reference point for, but that's what set me up to love Zeppelin, to love all the other progressive rock bands and all the things that ended up making my ears the way that they are and make me like the stuff that I like. So we got Dave Matthews Band, Stone Temple Pilots, Lenny Kravitz, the Black Crowes. That was the other one. I got my brother Ben to thank for that. Got my brother Matt to thank for Stone Temple Pilots in a lot of ways. But Ben got me into Black Crowes because his band, Cousin Jimmy Band, was so into it. So I hear all of that tonight and all these great songs, just fucking great songs. Rock and roll played so well. Robert DeLeo in particular, Scott Weiland's been replaced, Eric Kretz, I'm sorry, he had to be there in the beginning, he could be replaced now. I think even Dean could be replaced, I hate to say that, but Robert DeLeo, his bass tone and his authority, he plays his bass all the way fucking down here, and it's like vertical, and he's like 50-some years old, he's just rocking the shit out of that thing, and it's just, oh my God, he's just fucking amazing rock and roll music. It must be said that what they've done with the lead singer, dude, he did a great job. For Scott's sweet singing, which he actually did a lot, he does a lot of. There's a lot of melodic, high, clean vocals. He was perfect. He was better than Scott from a technical standpoint. Very clearly in tune. For the points where Scott was Scott with the rasp and all of that, he couldn't stand up to that part, but I don't hold it against him. He was doing an amazing job. What's weird is they've got him like stepping into Scott Weiland's skin. He's wearing the outfits and the bleach blonde hair and the sunglasses, and he's doing the whole shtick, and I won't even try. But he's like got his mic like way out there, hanging out to the crowd and everything. It's like, God, that's fucking weird. Like, I swear to God, I bet the dudes in the band like make him refer to himself as Scott. It feels like that. It was really weird. I was uncomfortable about it. I don't like saying it. It's their choice. It's their band, but it was very strange. It was very, very strange. So let's talk about SheltonSpeaks right quick. The thing with SheltonSpeaks and where I was at was I was starting to feel embarrassed. It was getting hard for me. I have to get in a certain headspace to get in front of the camera and do this. It's not easy to keep it up. And I felt embarrassed because I was losing patience, and I've had to go back to work more. That's on the more personal side. I work part-time at a coffee shop, and I was feeling a lot of self-judgment around that. And other people reinforced that, like family members, what I'm talking about. And I just needed more money. I've been like floating for a minute. I was like, I gotta make some more money. So I've gone back to work selling glasses, which I feel great about, at an awesome place here in town. And selling glasses means I'm an optician. I'm actually, troubleshooting people's vision problems and helping in a pretty professional capacity there. So I love that. We're running short on the IGTV here, so I might have to run into a second clip. But to wrap up, I just want to say that it's all in the process. It's not linear. These are things you've all heard before, but it's true. And the thing that now that I'm feeling better on the work and money front, because I'm like a little more stable with just having more work where I was trying to hold out and make more happen with music, I realized, the only more thing I'm going to be able to make happen right now with music is a bunch of local gigs. And I love my local people, I love my local places, but let's be real, it doesn't add up to anything in today's climate. You know what I mean? Like, I can go pound the pavement and book every fucking bar and every fucking crawdad seafood place and every wine, vineyard. It just doesn't add up to a lot. And I have the internet. I can reach the whole world. So that's not to prioritize the internet over the real people in my life. I still want to serve them. I serve them locally through Facebook and giving them music in that capacity, doing a lot of live stuff for them, to give them music, because it's all I'm here to do is to give music, because I'm gonna die. Ooh, spoiler alert, I'm gonna die, you're gonna die, everybody's gonna die. That's another Gary Vee thing, although he didn't invent it, believe it or not. We're not gonna be here forever, and so there's gonna be a legacy. You're gonna leave a legacy or you're not. So if you're living small, you're not gonna leave much of a legacy. And so I don't wanna leave a legacy as somebody who is trying to be somewhere they're not. I want to be somebody who is present with today. It's the only day we have. Tomorrow might be it for any of us, certainly for me. This is the day. So I'm thinking about success and presence and legacy. And success, I've realized for me today, is to be doing what you want to do. And I am. I really am. Now there are restrictions, there are constraints on that. Like, I might in my head go, well, I wish I played gears and guitars. I was like, well, I played gears and guitars Thursday night. I played it at the ballpark. It might not have been very glamorous, but compared to where my granddad, who grew up in Winston, saw it, he probably would have thought that was the big times. And he's not wrong, because it's all relative. And when I first started playing for tips at Artist's Way Creations Bakery in Danbury, North Carolina, 17 years ago, I would have thought it was the big times, and it is the big times. That kid was right, I'm right, me 30 years from now is right, whatever my idea of success and reaching for whatever I want to be doing. So I'm so grateful for the internet. I'm super grateful to Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V. Look up Gary V-E-E. Look him up anywhere. Start by following him on Instagram if you're ready for your life to change. If you're not ready for your life to change, you'll just look at him and be like, this guy's full of shit. Or like, oh, that's motivational, and then you'll just like not do anything about it. But the reason I'm cranking out so much content and I'm so passionate right now is because of Gary Vee and him awakening in me the realization that all of the holding back is just about my insecurities of what people are going to think, and that they're going to think I'm narcissistic or whatever. And the fact of the matter is, I love everybody and I don't care what they think. I do a lot, and it gets to me sometimes, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to let it affect how I'm living my life and what I'm doing, or what they think about success, or their vision for what authentic or worthwhile work is, or all these inherited ideas. So it's a brave new world, people. Wake the fuck up. We got the internet now. Ain't nothing the same as it used to be. Nothing is what it used to be. Get online, start creating content, be yourself, be your weird fucking self, and then you have a chance at standing out. So that's what I'm working on. Of course, I have hopes, I have wishes for how things might be at some point in the future, but at the end of the day, it's like, at the end of the day, I say that a lot. At the end of the day, sometimes I say, it's about, again, doing what you want to do with the space that you have to do it in. Right now, I'm working 2 jobs and playing gigs and doing this every day, and I'm very happy. I make a big impact everywhere that I go. Everything balances everything. I bring a lot of joy as much as I can, as much joy and enthusiasm and presence and love to everything that I'm doing. And that's not to boast. It's just like, I'm so grateful I've worked myself to that point with all the help from 10 billion people all over the planet, 7 billion, all the people in my life who helped me get where I'm going. So obviously I'm kind of fired up. And last couple things about Stone Temple Pilots. One is, did not realize how psychedelic their music is, like big psychedelia influence. Secondly, Robert DeLeo, the bass player, what I realized about him with his melodicism and his timing and tone and everything, Robert DeLeo is Paul McCartney if Paul McCartney was breaking out in 1992. They're not from Seattle, I can't remember where they're from. I want to say the Midwest or something, but it was just part of why they're not so grunge. But yeah, the melody and the intentionality of every note he plays, he's just Paul McCartney on the bass in Stone Temple Pilots. Amazing. Last thing, which is a point I've been wanting to make, is slide guitar in heavy music. We got to bring that back, because not that all of STP's music is heavy, but a lot of the riffing is it's not ever metal sounding, but it's heavy. Even when it's not slow, it's heavy. And he uses slide guitar a lot, which goes back to Blackmore. Richie Blackmore with Rainbow was always playing the slide. Always, just all this ain't a slide, but... I ain't that good at it, am I? Bring back the slide in heavy music. It should be there because it's awesome and it gives you so much voice right away. Anyway, I hope you got something out of this mad rant. Stone Temple Pilots, the music that made me. Be thinking about the music that made you who you are. There's a lot of it that's programmed in there. I would challenge you to go back and listen to a bunch of the music that you were listening to when you first started realizing that listening to music on purpose was a thing. I don't mean just being at the house when you were kids with the radio on. I mean when you started to go, I like music. I'm going to buy a music and I'm going to listen to it on purpose. And I'm going to think about what those rock stars do and all that, whatever that is for you, whether it's hip hop, pop, rock, metal, prog, doesn't matter. Go back there, listen to some of that stuff, and notice more consciously how it's been shaping you as a musician, or just as a person if you're not somebody who plays music. I hope this stuff is interesting to people other than just musicians. So, I'm going to make some more videos. I'm going to give you all the content because that's what I'm here to do. The internet lets me reach you all over the world, and I'm so grateful for that. And I just want to make music. I just want to make music and give it to you. I want to be supported in that. And that's a different story. It's really a separate thing. Because what I want is to give. I want to give music because it was given to me by my creator. And I'm so grateful to have that in my life. And I'm tired of letting all these fucking little fears about what you're going to do keep me from being what I was created to be. So that's some Gary V shit right there. He leaves out the creator part. He makes sure to stay away from any kind of spirituality issues. But he's talking about it. He is. Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for watching this long-winded rant. And go follow Hannah Wicklund and the Steppin' Stones. Do it now. You better stop this video already and follow them. All right? See you next time. Bye.